Assalamualaikum dear students, welcome to your channel Anatomy Canvas, and in today's class we are going to discuss with the embryology of the reproductive system and external genitalia. So first, we will have a look on the cloaca. So we know that the cloaca is the region at the end of the primitive hindgut and is continuous with the allantois. So in this diagram, you can say this is the region of the cloaca, this is the region of the hindgut, and this area is the allantois, and this cloaca is in wide connection with the allantois. This is a dilated cavity, this cloaca, and it is at the caudal end of the hindgut, and caudally it is present, the cloacal membrane is present, which separates it from the outer areas. So initially connected cranially to enteric hindgut, and ventrocaudally is in contact with the underlying ectoderm at the cloacal membrane. Later on, the urorectal septum appears. This is the growth of the mesenchyme, and this mesenchymal growth then separates this cloacal region into two areas. The one which is anterior is called the urogenital sinus, and one which is posterior is called the anorectal areas. So this will form the anorectal area, and this will form the urogenital sinus. So different development of the external genitalia in different stage. In third week of development, proliferating mesenchymal cells covered by ectoderm originate in the region of the primitive streak and migrate around the cloacal membrane to make a pair of slightly elevated cloacal fold. So another important MCQ over here is that the cells, the primitive proliferating mesenchymal cells, they originate from the area of the primitive streak, and they are covered by the mesoderm, ectoderm. So these areas, they form the cloacal folds. Then these cloacal folds, cranial to the cloacal membrane, these folds unite over here, and they form a swelling called the genital swelling or genital tubercle. Caudally, these cloacal folds then divided into anteriorly called the urethral fold and posterior one called the anal fold. So in this diagram, you can also see the cranial and unite to form genital tubercle, and then these cloacal fold divided into urethral fold and anal fold. The junction between the two folds, you can see over here, this will later on form the perineal body. On each side of the urethral fold, another swelling appear, and this swelling is called the genital swelling. This swelling will later on form the scrotum in the males and the labia majora in the female. So in this diagram also you can see this area is the genital tubercle. Here you can see the urethral fold and the anal fold which are present, and on each side you can see the genital swelling which will later on form either the scrotal swelling or the labia majora depending upon the sex. In this diagram, you can also see there's these genital tubercle then elongates in the males, and it forms the phallus, and it pulls the urethral fold along with it. This is the difference between the two sexes. This will form the glans penis, while in female it will form the cloacal region. This is the area of the urethral groove. In the female, you can see the urethral orifice remains open, and here you can see the opening, the cavity of the vagina as well. These are the lateral swelling which are forming labia majora in female and scrotal swelling in the males. So development of external genitalia in males is under the effect of the androgen which is released from the fetal testis. Again, very important MCQ, both of these. First is that it is effect of androgen, and second, they are released from the female testis. Another important, very important clinical correlate is related to the receptors for the androgen, because in certain condition in which the fetal testes are also present, the androgen is also secreted, but the receptors which are present in the area of the external genitalia, they do not respond to androgen, and as a result of which the external genitalia in the males will not develop. So these are the different anomalies which are related to embryological development of all of the areas, and these two are your MCQs. Next, what happens that there is a rapid elongation of this genital swelling, genital tubercle called the phallus, and this phallus, when it elongates, it pulls along with it the urethral groove. So in this diagram, in the section, you can see this is the urethral plate which will form the urethral groove, and when edges meet with each other, it will form a complete lumen of the penile urethra. So here you can see this is the penile urethra which is forming because of the elongation of the phallus and because of the pulling of the urethral groove. Later on, edges on each side meet with each other to close the opening and form the penile urethra. So, in the development of the external genitalia in male, you can see that here you can see the penile urethra is formed. So, this canal does not extend to the tip of the phallus. This is another very important point. Here you can see this penile urethra is not approaching the tip. At the area of the tip, there is the ectodermal growth which penetrates deep, which is later canalized and which connects the penile urethra and which will form the outer part, the external urethral meatus in the female. So please remember that the penile urethra has endodermal origin, while the outer part, the external urethral meatus, is derived from the ectoderm. These are again your MCQs as well. So the genital swelling, the scrotal swelling arise in inguinal region, move quadrily, and each one makes up half of the scrotum. So on each side you can see in yellow color, these are the scrotal swelling which are forming the scrotal areas, and between the urethra and the anal fold you can see the perineal body is forming over here. Congenital anomalies of the penis are that there may be hypospadias. So hypospadias is a condition, is a most common anomaly, and in this condition the external urethral orifice is on ventral surface of the glans penis. That is penile hypospadias. The result from inadequate production of androgen by fetal testes are inadequate receptor sites for the hormone. So this is very important and commonest anomalies in the males, that is the hypospadia. Then another anomaly is the epispadias. The urethra opens on the dorsal surface of the penis associated with exostrophy of the bladder resulting from inadequate ectodermal mesodermal interaction during development of the genital tubercle. So in this case the opening will be on dorsal side, while in case of the hypospadia the external urethral orifice will be present on the ventral aspect of the penis. Agenesis of external genitalia occur if there may be absence of penis or the clitoris or resulting from failure of development of the genital tubercle. Bifid penis and double penis may be present because in such a condition there may be two genital tubercle which may form either bifid or double penis. And micropenis is another condition in which penis is so small that it is almost hidden by suprapubic pad of fat. It results from the fetal testicular failure. So, in this diagram, you can see the hypospadias which is present on ventral aspect, the external urethral orifice present on ventral aspect. This is a condition in which agenesis of external genitalia is present. So next is the development of the external genitalia in the female. It is stimulated by the estrogen. The genital tubercle elongates only slightly, forming the clitoris. In this condition, you can see it slightly enlarged and it will form the clitoris. The urethral folds on each side will form the labia minora. The genital swellings on each side will form the labia majora, and the urethral groove will form the vestibule of the vestibule of vagina. So another important point over here is that although the genital tubercle does not elongate extensively in female, but it is larger than in male during early stages, and this can be results in mistakes in identification of sex by the ultrasonography. So development of external genitalia, the picture both in both the sexes, this is in different stage and in the present between 4th to 7th week. Then in this condition, this is present at the 9th week of development. In female, you can see the smaller development of the genital tubercle. The urogenital groove is open, while in this case you can see elongation of the phallus. At the 11th week, you can see further development of the phallus forming the penile area, and in this case you can see the labia minora and labia majora are developing. And at 12th week, where the genital sex can even be seen while the ultrasonography, you can see the complete development of the penile area and also the scrotal swelling. And in the female, you can see the clitoris, the labia minora, the labia majora, and the vestibule. So this is all about the reproductive system. We will meet in the next class, inshallah, with the development of the urinary system. These are the references: the Langman's Medical Embryology, The Developing Human by Keith L. Moore, Gray's Anatomy by the Susan Standings, 40th edition. Thank you very much for your attention, and Allah Hafiz till the next class.